Hey, do you know what time it is? If you don't, let me tell you. It's Kulve Tarroth time! I didn't think it was possible for Monster Hunter World to get any better than it already is, but Kulve Tarroth proved me wrong. Kulve is the first of hopefully many new DLC monsters added into Monster Hunter World. Now, you might be thinking, whoa, this is some pretty good DLC, but I bet it cost a bajillion dollars. Well, you'd be wrong if you said that, because this event is 100% free. That's right, they added a new monster, area, weapons, and armor for anyone to be able to download without having to pay a single bit of money. Now, this is crazy. Why would Capcom do this? Well, the reason why they did this is because 1, they want people to enjoy their game without having to pay a shit ton to do so. And 2, because this gives them a good reputation, which in turn gets people to want to buy their games more because they know they're going to get their money's worth. Now, you might be wondering why I'm bringing this up. Well, it's important for y'all to understand that Capcom could have very well put a price tag on this event, but didn't. And even though this event is free, they still took a lot of time to make sure that it was enjoyable and wasn't just some cheap gimmick to get people to play their game more. So with that in mind, let's take a look at this DLC and see just how good it really is. Kulve Tarroth is a siege elder dragon, meaning that she has several different phases that you have to beat before a set amount of time. Usually siege monsters follow a specific path or have a specific objective that you have to stop them from completing. In Kulve Tarroth's case, you must break her horns off before she retreats. Now what makes Kulve different from any other siege monster is that even if you don't complete your objective, you won't fail the quest. You'll even get some rewards at the end of the quest. She also has a very creative mechanic where the more information you gather from her by collecting her footprints, scales, and etc., the weaker she becomes in the next hunt. There are 6 levels of weakness that Kulve can be, level 1 being the strongest and level 6 being the weakest. The level that Kulve Tarroth is also has a big factor in leveling up your chances of getting better rewards. The higher the level is, the higher your reward level is. Now, you might be wondering what your reward level is. Well, if you're able to break Kulve's horns off, then you'll get some special Kulve weapons. These weapons work the same way that Guild Quest weapons and armor do in Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, except you can get way more weapons and talisman than you would from Guild Quests, and everything is randomized. So having a higher reward level makes you more likely to get more rare weapons and talisman. And the final thing that makes Kulve Tarroth more unique from any of the other siege monsters is that the more groups you have hunting Kulve Tarroth, the faster Kulve's level increases. So if you have 4 groups of hunters fighting Kulve in one gathering hall, then it's possible to get Kulve from level 1 to level 6 with just one hunt. Okay, I think that covers everything. Let's actually talk about the fight with Kulve Tarroth. Kulve Tarroth has 4 different phases. The first one being where she traverses through narrow tunnels, trying to find an escape route. While she is following this path, you must do whatever you can to damage her golden armor. There are several opportunities that you can use to do this. There are several traps that you can use in order to damage Kulve even more, like these bridges in certain areas, and cannons that are plastered throughout the entire area. Again, the higher the level Kulve is, the easier her armor is to break. In her second phase, she'll flee to a small cave and will begin to fight you, where she will rely on her heavier and slower attacks like rolling, arm and tail swipes, charges, and the occasional fire beam. Also, during her second phase, her armor will become molten. Whenever her armor is molten, it is a lot easier to break. Once you manage to do enough damage to her in her second phase, she will move on to the third phase. In her third phase, she will retreat to a bigger lava-covered area where she'll move a little quicker and will start to use more of her elemental attacks rather than brute ones. There are also a few stalactites that you can hit in this area in order to get even more damage off of Kulve. Also, there are some lava plumes in the area, and if you manage to get Kulve on top of a lava plume, it'll do damage to her. So, if you hit Kulve with a stalactite while she's on top of a lava plume, you'll get a lot of damage off. At some point during this phase, she'll shed her armor off and will show her true form. Shortly after you manage to strip her of her armor, she'll flee to the final cave where you must break her horns off. In this final phase, she'll move much quicker and has a very deadly fire attack where she will spray the ground with fire and cause the entire arena to become volcanic. Here's some advice I can give you about Kulve Tarroth that might make the fight with her easier. For starters, you can mount Kulve Tarroth at any point during the fight. This will help significantly because once you knock her down, she is open for way more attacks. Another thing that will help you with damaging her horns is to use a bow or to have someone on your team using a bow. Also, if you have an insect glaive, then today is your lucky day because you can easily avoid some of Kulve's most deadly attacks by staying airborne. I'm of course referring to her fire-based attacks. And finally, she can be KO'd. So, if you have hammer users or you use a hammer yourself or have someone that uses punish draw, then make sure to aim for her head as much as you can to get that KO because the more hits you can get on her horns, the better. So, if you manage to break her horns off, she will retreat and you will have successfully completed the quest. So, what do I think about Kulve Tarroth? Well, I have to say that she is in my top 3 favorite Elder Dragons of all time. Now, I know this is a bold statement, but I really do believe that this is one of Capcom's finest monsters. For starters, she has an amazing design. She has a City of Gold vibes that I really love about it. She's covered in gold, the enemies are covered in gold, the area has a goldish yellowish hue, which I think adds a really nice touch to the whole fight. She actually has a fun fight that I don't feel like other Siege fights have. What I mean by this is that you really don't notice that she is following a specific path like you do with some other Siege monsters like Dalmador and Lao Shalom. She has some amazing armor, like I love this armor set. It looks great and it has some great abilities, as you can see right here. And finally, the area where you fight her is amazing. All of this makes for a great monster that will go down the books as one of the best in the series. So, as you can see, there are several reasons why I believe Kulve Tarroth is an amazing monster, as well as being some of the best DLC Capcom has made yet. I really hope Capcom keeps going this direction with their DLC, because if they do, Monster Hunter World is going to be popular for a very long time. Well, that's everything I have to say about the Kulve Tarroth event. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. Also, if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to like it. And if you like this type of content, then you should consider subscribing to Redleopardvideos, because you'll be notified as soon as I make a new video, and it would help me out greatly if you subscribed. Anyway, my name is Ryan Kelly, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace!